developing across the Central Plains, Midwest, and Great Lakes will push eastward and may extend into portions of the western Great Lakes and adjacent nearshore waters. Mariners operating on Lake Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions, including dangerous cloud-to-water lightning, sudden wind gusts exceeding 40 knots, rough waves, and sharply reduced visibility in torrential rainfall. Along the Gulf Coast, abundant tropical moisture remains in place from the western Gulf of Mexico to the Florida Panhandle. Scattered to numerous thunderstorms are expected to continue through the night and into Thursday. Some storms may become strong enough to generate locally hazardous seas, waterspouts, intense lightning activity, and wind gusts above 30 knots. Small fishing vessels should exercise extreme caution when operating near thunderstorm clusters. Across the Atlantic coastal waters from Florida northward through the Carolinas and into the mid-Atlantic region, warm and humid conditions will support scattered overnight thunderstorms offshore. By Thursday afternoon and evening, thunderstorm coverage is expected to increase as daytime heating combines with a weak frontal boundary approaching from the west. Mariners should be prepared for sudden squalls capable of producing dangerous lightning, abrupt wind shifts, and short-period rough seas. The northeast coastal waters, including the Gulf of Maine and offshore areas south of New England, will experience increasing humidity and unstable conditions. While widespread hazardous marine weather is not expected during the morning hours, isolated strong thunderstorms may develop later Thursday, especially over nearshore waters. Any storm that developed could produce localized gale-force wind gusts and dangerous lightning. Across the Pacific Northwest, marine conditions will remain relatively stable under the influence of strong high pressure. However, increasing offshore gradients may generate locally gusty winds through the Strait of Juan de Fuca and portions of the coastal waters off Washington and Oregon. While thunderstorms are not expected, mariners should monitor changing sea conditions and increasing afternoon winds. Along the California coast, persistent northwesterly winds will continue to create choppy seas, particularly across the outer coastal waters and near major capes. Small craft advisory conditions may develop in some offshore zones. Areas of dense marine fog will remain possible during the late night and early morning hours, reducing visibility for commercial and recreational vessels. In the waters surrounding Alaska, unsettled weather continues across portions of the Bering Sea and western coastal waters. Periods of rain, low clouds, and reduced visibility are expected through Thursday. Mariners operating in western and northern Alaska waters should be prepared for rough conditions and occasional strong winds associated with passing low-pressure systems. Meanwhile, Hawaiian coastal waters remain under a typical trade wind regime. Moderate to locally strong easterly winds will continue through Thursday, producing choppy conditions across windward channels and waters. Brief passing showers will occasionally reduce visibility, but widespread hazardous marine weather is not expected. For fishermen, commercial shipping operators, and recreational boaters, the most significant hazards during the next 24 hours will be severe thunderstorms over the Great Lakes, Gulf Coast waters, and portions of the Atlantic coastal waters. Lightning remains one of the greatest threats to vessels at sea. Mariners should continuously monitor NOAA weather radio, marine forecasts, and local warnings. Always have multiple methods of receiving weather alerts, ensure all safety equipment is operational, and be prepared to seek safe harbor immediately if thunderstorms approach.
Good evening, everyone. Here is the latest nationwide weather update and forecast for tonight and Thursday, June 11th, 2026. Regional weather forecast Northeast. A strengthening ridge of high pressure offshore will continue pumping warm, humid air into the northeast. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms may develop across upstate New York, northern Pennsylvania, and northern New England. Some storms could produce gusty winds and brief heavy rainfall. On Thursday, temperatures will climb well above seasonal averages. Highs are expected to reach the upper 80s to middle 90s across much of the region, with heat indices approaching the upper 90s in urban corridors from Philadelphia to New York City and southern New England. Late-day thunderstorms are possible, especially across northern and western sections, as an approaching disturbance moves eastward. Severe weather cannot be ruled out. Regional weather forecast Southeast. The southeast remains under a hot and humid air mass. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms will continue across Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and the Carolinas, producing localized heavy rain and occasional lightning. Thursday will feature widespread temperatures in the upper 80s to mid-90s. Heat indices may exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit in portions of Florida, southern Georgia, and coastal areas. Afternoon and evening thunderstorms will be numerous, especially near the Gulf Coast and Florida Peninsula, where tropical moisture remains abundant. Localized flash flooding is possible in urban and low-lying areas. Regional weather forecast Midwest. The Midwest will be one of the most active weather regions in the nation. Tonight, thunderstorms developing over Iowa, Missouri, and Minnesota will continue moving eastward. Some storms may become severe with damaging winds, large hail, and isolated tornadoes. On Thursday, a powerful storm system will interact with very warm and humid air. Numerous severe thunderstorms are expected from Missouri and Iowa into Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana. Damaging straight-line winds, large hail, torrential rainfall, and a few tornadoes are possible. Residents should closely monitor weather alerts. Regional weather forecast Great Lakes. The Great Lakes faces an increasing threat of severe weather. Tonight, storms may move across Wisconsin and western Michigan, producing strong wind gusts and heavy rainfall. On Thursday, conditions become favorable for organized severe thunderstorms around Lakes Michigan, Huron, and Erie.